All right, good afternoon. This is going to be our third podcast, I think, of this chapter. And again, I'm just going straight to the homework. And so far, I hope you found homeworks 1, 2, and 3 to be relatively easy. This predicting the types on this one is going to be a little more challenging for you. We started doing the same thing, writing the formula, finding what time of reaction it is. We're going to predict our products. We're going to say if it's aqueous, solid, liquid, and balanced. So none of that's going to be changing. We just have to now are given less and less information as these homeworks are continuing. So it tells us for number 1 that we have sodium metal is burning. That's it. That's all it tells us. Well, I can write down sodium metal pretty easily. That's NaNS. Then you need to remember that when it says burning, that means it is going to be a combustion reaction. And we've talked about in class how you need oxygen, which is diatomic, in the gaseous phase to support burning. So now I need to figure out the right-hand side. Now, this is where you're really going to have to make friends with your gold sheet of types of chemical reactions. And for this first one, you can see that I have a single element and I have oxygen, which is diatomic, which also fits in this category and makes one compound. So I have a synthesis reaction. For these, you probably need to figure out what type of reaction you have first before you can continue on to write the rest of the formulas. So I have a synthesis reaction, so that means that sodium and oxygen are going to come together. So we can't forget all the rules, so you got to go back now to your gold sheet and say, okay, sodium's +1, oxide's -2, so what's the correct way to write this formula? It will be Na2O. And then I need to figure out its solubility. So I need to go to the solubility sheet and I need to look up oxygen because that's the anion for oxides. So most metallic hydroxides and oxides are going to be solids. However, we have an exception here that this is the alkali metal cations. And sodium is an alkali metal. So this is actually going to be aqueous. So we are going to write down AQ for this one. Okay, so we have taken the left-hand side, we've predicted the right-hand side, and now I have to go ahead and I want to balance this. Well, I can see that I have 2 oxygen on the left and 1 on the right, so I'm going to put a 2 here. And now 2 times 2 is going to be 4 sodium. So I have 4 parts sodium to 1 part oxygen to 2 parts Na2O. And we already talked about that this is a synthesis reaction. Okay, number 2 is also synthesis, so I'm not going to show you that one because it would be the same kind of format. But let's take a look at number 3. So we have solid boron carbonate. Okay, boron is one of those exceptions that it actually makes an ionic substance. So the charge for boron is +3, carbonate is -2. So I know that I need 2 borons, parenthesis, carbonate, CO3, and I need 3 of them. Now this one says when heated. That means it's just throwing it on your stove and you're heating it up. You're not burning it, so I'm just going to draw my arrow. So it yields. So this is going to be a decomposition reaction. Now the trick on our decomposition reactions is that we have many types. So now I need to not only decide that yes, it's a decomposition reaction because it's the only one that starts with one compound like this, I got to figure out what type it is so that I can break it down. Now for example number 1, you can see that it says a metallic, so it means a metal carbonate. Well, that's what I have. I have boron carbonate. When heated, same thing that it says, forms a metallic oxide, a metal with oxygen, and carbon dioxide. So here it is, metal carbonate, calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So ours is going to do the same thing. It's going to make a boron oxide plus CO2. So boron and oxygen, again, hopefully you don't have BO, you are going to say boron is +3, oxygen's -2, so go ahead and crisscross that. And plus carbon dioxide, and since that is a gas at room temperature, we just write down the G. And then I need to look on my solubility gold sheet for oxides, and I think we just did that. So oxides are right here. Boron is not an alkali metal, so that is going to be forming a solid. Sorry, getting lost here with all my pages that I have up. So this is going to be a solid. So I figured out that it was a decomposition reaction. I broke it down, and I have to go ahead and balance this. So inside of here, I have 3 carbon, because I have 1 times 3, so that would be 3 carbon. So put a big 3 out here for 3 carbon over here. And now I have 3 times 3, I have 9 oxygen. Well, I have 3 oxygen right here. 3 times 2 is 6. So that is also 9. So I am balanced on both sides. All right, so this homework number 4 is going to take a lot more work on your part. There's no shortcuts to this one. You guys need to do all 17 of them. I've already done a couple of them, so you have 15 more to do. This is what you need the practice on. We are not going to be writing out the equations for you all semester long. You are going to have to understand how to write these predictions. So I need you to make sure that you work really hard on this homework. Make sure you've gotten through a lot of examples before you even begin to start trying some of the quizzes on this. This is really important stuff. They're all building to this point, and hopefully you guys have been successful to this point, and then you will be here too. All right, you awesome chemistry students that I have a wonderful night, and I will see you in class tomorrow.